Hi everybody, it's Britt here from Brit's Soul, and tonight in this video I want to talk about the South Node in Synastry and how it feels, how I've experienced it, um, and yeah, the kind of feelings it can bring. So anyways, the South Node in astrology is opposite the North Node. And the North Node is the soul's path in this lifetime where it's going, but the South Node is where you've been. It's what's deeply ingrained, comfortable, and also it can show your past lives if you believe in past lives, of course. So when someone's planet is conjunct our South Node in Synastry, they feel very comfortable to us, and there is this feeling of knowing each other forever. And when we get together, it's really easy to feel like we know the person. And there can be some kind of feeling like unconscious scared of the person, or like a negative feeling, because we don't really know what's gone on in a past life with this particular individual. And I don't want to say every single time, I mean, there's like no scientific rule here, but if there's a strong conjunction to the South Node in Synastry, I would say that you have known the person in a past life 100% of the time. And you can sort of see the kind of past life from the connection, like the particular planet, like Mercury could have been siblings or students together. But I mean, it doesn't always have to be so strict like this. I mean, Saturn can show that you were the father or the parent, Moon can show that you were someone's mother. And it's usually the planet person who was the mother or the father, or the like, to the node person. And the planet person can feel a deep loyalty to the node person because these feelings go deep. We can be going through lifetimes together with this person, and it can be really hard to let go of a South Node relationship. And I used to think it was Pluto. I thought it was Pluto causing this sort of obsessive feeling. But then I noticed that in other synastries where there was just Pluto but no South Node contacts, it did not feel the same as this. The South Node goes beyond Pluto, even, I think. And it's a different kind of obsession. It's like a longing for that particular place and time that you spent with that person. Or it's also a longing for the particular quality of that planet that is being expressed, like the South Node in Pisces, and then you've got a planet in Pisces conjunct to someone's South Node in Pisces. It's that longing for spiritual unity with all of life, that longing for escaping the mundane reality. It's, like Pisces themes, right? That longing for unconditional love and compassion. Whereas if you've got the South Node in Taurus, then we've got this like emphasis on material security, and like this longing for that feeling of material security, a longing for the feeling of being at home in the body, a longing for that beauty, and a longing for that steady, consistent, unwavering love. So you have to look at the planet and the sign involved to see what that longing is for. But I guarantee you there is a feeling of longing. And we can have South Node contacts with our friends, with our parents, with teachers, and it always goes back to some deep unconscious need, especially on the part of the South Node person. It's something that they are so familiar with that this person, the planet person, can just kind of glom onto them, and they just sort of like become one energy because they're so alike. When you have a planet conjunct someone's South Node, you are so alike them in that energy of the planet. Like you are literally one with them, and you learn how to better understand the own operatings of your particular planet when it's conjunct with someone's South Node, because the South Node is what is so familiar and natural to someone. So, in being around someone when your planet is conjunct their South Node, you really get to know the energy of that planet. And if you're around them long enough, you can actually master that planet. Like, let's say the planet is Saturn and you have a lot of difficult Saturn aspects, and then your Saturn's on someone's South Node, and you have to spend a great deal of time with them. You're going to figure the fuck out of your Saturn. Like, you are going to realize your true purpose with Saturn and what you have to do with it. And so that's why there can be this kind of obsessional quality with the South Node, I find, is because I think when you're trying to learn the lesson of a particular planet, and then the South Node person is like constantly bringing it up, and as souls, we want to learn lessons. That's why we've come here. We've come to master certain energies, and that can be shown by our planets and our natal chart, of course. But when we're interacting with people that are bringing up all these lessons in us, we want to figure it out as humans. We want to become better and learn and grow. So, like, I don't really think South Node connections mean that you're necessarily holding the person back. Like people have said with South Node connections, like you want to be moving towards your North Node, but you also want to be mastering the South Node. And because you can't really fully move on to your North Node if your South Node has not been understood yet. So we have to figure that out first. And another thing is people like what's comfortable. We like what feels normal and natural. And people get married for reasons like that they just feel comfortable around each other. And comfort doesn't necessarily mean that you're stagnating or you're not growing. It doesn't mean that. It means that you genuinely are alike. And like, honestly, the South Node, like if you have a planet conjunct the South Node, like it's almost like you're as much alike as if a planet is conjunct someone's sun, like, or their moon. Like this goes deep. So anyways, I think the South Node can sort of represent this longing because these relationships don't always work out. And if we've had a particular past life with someone where maybe it didn't end in a nice way, or and then we have a relationship in this lifetime with someone who's activating our South Node and it doesn't end in a nice way, there's this feeling of longing because we are wanting to break the karmic pattern with the South Node. Like we want to have a clean sheet here of karma. And when there's a South Node connection, it's like you're wanting to clear that karma. And if you can just make peace with the fact that nothing is ever done. Because like when a relationship ends that has heavy South Node stuff, you're going to really feel like this is not over. Like I'm going to have to meet with this person in another life, or in this life they're going to come back. Like there's just something that's not really done here when we have a South Node connection. And this is felt on the part of the planet person more, I find, but I mean, it's hard to say really who feels. I think they both do feel it, but the planet person has more of a hold on the node person. They feel very strongly that being around the South Node person is helping them learn so much. And another thing is that if you have an opposition in your natal chart, okay, this is big stuff, you guys. This is huge, okay? If you have an opposition in your natal chart and it falls on someone's nodes, like let's say you have moon opposite Venus in your natal chart and your moon is conjunct someone's South Node and your Venus is conjunct someone's North Node. You could also say, and I've read this in one of my books, that the nodes person has caused you that particular karmic challenge in your past life. So if it was my nodes, it could be that I, in a past life, have caused you to have this Moon-Venus complex or whatever. And I mean, if you don't believe in past lives, just it doesn't make sense. If you don't believe in past lives, I mean, why are you looking at the nodes anyways? Because the South Node is the fucking past life, you guys. Okay, so if you don't believe in past lives, honestly, at this point, it makes no fucking sense to not believe in past lives, because it does not make sense to me at all that, like, we are just born and we die. But anyways, that's my particular opinion on it. If you don't believe in past lives, this whole video you're gonna probably just have to fucking disregard, because The South Node represents past lives. Okay. I can't put it any clearer than that. But anyways, yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, so if you have an opposition and it falls on someone's north and south nodes, it is likely that that nodes person caused you this conflict in a past life, and then now, by being with them, you are resolving it. So it's like payback, I guess. And it doesn't have to be a negative thing. Like, it's a positive thing. It's like a karmic retribution. Like, we're getting to learn how to master that particular energy that was malfunctioned in our charts. So yeah, the South Node definitely, it has this feeling of knowing each other forever, or there's something so familiar or comfortable, or if the past lives have not gone well, it feels really icky and possibly scary and weird, but we still feel pulled to figure it out. And it's quite an interesting thing, and it's really common in marriages because, like, the comfort aspect, and the planet person is growing so much, and the nodes person feels understood because the planet person is embodying that they know so well. So it's really an interesting thing. It's very common. I see it all the time in relationship charts and families, friends. It's really common to have South Node stuff, and I do feel it can cause kind of an obsessional longing for someone because it just goes way back. It's like we go way back, and it might not make any sense to anybody why you keep going back to this person. And it's not really anybody else's business. You are involved in this karmic pattern that you are attempting to learn. And by being around the nodes person, you learn so much that you would not be able to learn in not being around them. And the nodes person feels seen, and they're pulled along the right path. Like, they, even though it's, you could say it's pulling them back because it's a South Node, it's not really pulling them back. It's helping them understand who they really are on a deep level. And they could unconsciously kind of resent you a bit, but it's just you are showing them who they really are on a deep level. So, like, sometimes with South Node contacts, we can have kind of like a hatred of someone, or like a envy, or like a negative feeling, and it's the shadow. They're showing you what you deeply are. When you're the South Node person and someone's planet's conjunct your South Node, and you say, wow, that person is so like that, and I'm not like that at all. But you are. It's what you deeply are, because in life, in relationships, we attract what we are, okay? With the law of attraction. This is what I firmly and truly believe in the law of attraction. We attract what we are. So with a South Node contact, we are literally attracting someone who is reflecting the deepest part of ourselves, like our past patterns, what's comfortable, what's normal to us. So it makes perfect sense that we attract people whose planets are conjunct our South Node, because we are so alike with this. But before you start feeling negative towards someone, and someone is pissing you off, take a look at yourself and see where you are perhaps embodying those qualities yourself. And the thing is, it's like you might not be consciously embodying those qualities. It could be something you've already healed from, like maybe you were like that when you were younger and now you're not like that anymore, but this person is reminding you of what you used to be. So always, like, take a look at yourself. I am all for healing conflicts in relationships and healing conflicts with everybody that we know and everybody that's ever bothered us in any way. I am all for healing conflicts. And one of the ways you can do that is by realizing that people are your reflection. Other people are your mirrors. If you're attracting a certain type of person repeatedly, take a look in the mirror and see how you either are those qualities on a deep unconscious level, used to be those qualities, maybe those qualities are something you're needing to develop in this lifetime, and also, if you hate the qualities about another person, you could be trying to develop those in yourself as well. Like, Anyways, that could be a whole nother video on its own about how to stop hating people and take a good look in the mirror. But with South Node contacts, it would be a good idea to do such thing once in a while. Let's take a look in the mirror, because likely you are both embodying a lot of each other's so-called negative qualities, but also positive qualities. You are very, very alike, and if they're pissing you off, just look in the mirror, because they are you, and we all are one on a deep spiritual soul level, and we're all here guiding each other home to love. And I hope sincerely and deeply from my heart that you all watching this find your way back to love and happiness. And join my happiness program on my site, www.britneyastrology.com/happiness-program. It's my latest program on how to achieve unconditional happiness no matter what's going on in your life. And this is so important because when we are happy, we are attracting happy circumstances. And I'm not saying achieve fake happiness. It's not about that at all, but it's achieving real, lasting happiness that I found and I'm ready to teach on. I'm so super excited. So check that out. And I'm also offering private coaching on my site. Go to my site, check out my services. I'm doing video chart readings as well now, which is pretty fun. Me talking for a whole hour on a video about your chart. Pretty fucking cool. Sign up for that if you're interested. Okay, I love you guys. I hope this has helped you understand the South Node a little bit better from my perspective. This has just been something I've been needing to let out for a while. So I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.